Hey everyone, this is your girl Sharifa, aka Shree, and welcome to the I'm Good podcast, or in better words, the I Feel Good podcast. If you are new here, welcome to the family. This is a podcast where I explore topics on mental health, physical health, nutrition, and everything in between. So if you're trying to get right and stay right mentally, this is definitely the place you want to be. And wait, before I begin, here's some quick info. Why did I name this podcast I'm Good? Simple. Because as people, from a cultural standpoint, whether we are down or happy, our favorite response to friends, families, or strangers is I'm good, even if we're not. It's completely normal not to feel happy all the time, but in the midst of whatever you go through, the saying I'm good can elaborate to so many different meanings. So yes, this is the place to be, whether you are down, happy, excited, and everything in between. I'm here to dish out knowledge, talk about current topics, and of course, lift you up. So feel free to go ahead and subscribe, share this podcast, leave a review, and tell a friend. Now let's go ahead and get started on today's show. Hey guys, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And let me explain to you really quick. First of all, for starters, it's free. Yes, I said it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And I know most of you guys have a phone or computer, so it's so easy. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So make sure you download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to the I'm Good podcast. If you are new here, what's good, what's poppin'? Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. And for all of my returning listeners, to my I'm Good fam, what's good, what's poppin'? I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful week. And if you didn't, hopefully this podcast will help cheer you up. This podcast episode, or just this podcast in general, will help cheer you up. So yes, y'all, I want to really, like I said, express my gratitude and thank everyone who has tuned in throughout the year. Can y'all believe it? Like, we are wrapping up 2021 and we're about to go into 2022. Can you believe it? That reminded me of that wrestler. He'd be like, who said that? Can you dig it? Who used to say that? The Rock? I don't know. But yes, y'all, thank you to everyone who has tuned into the I'm Good podcast. I don't care if you listen once, if you listen to half of an episode, whatever it may be. Thank you so, so much for tuning in to the podcast this year, as well as last year, 2020, which we did launch. Our 2-year podcast anniversary is coming up on March 13th of 2022. And then also, too, we are on episode 93. So that means, drumroll please, that means that our 100th episode will be coming out soon. So I'm so excited for that. I can't believe I've been doing this for almost 2 years nonstop. Like, when they say, like, I used to say to myself, do I have a problem with consistency? I'm like, I don't have a problem with consistency. I might have a problem with certain areas of consistency, and it could be maybe because I'm not planned out, I don't plan things out or whatever. But like, y'all, I'm proud of me. And that's, if you can see by the title of today's podcast episode, is about ways to basically clap for yourself, how to appreciate yourself more. So I'm going to say this right now. I'm proud of what I've accomplished this year. I'm proud of this podcast. I'm proud of the growth. I am proud of me for staying consistent for this entire year, y'all. Entire year of recording a podcast episode every single week. And then, like I said, I started back in October of 2020. Right. Yep. October 2020 in regards to doing double uploads. So I'm just so, so happy. I'm going to clap for myself. Okay. This is what today's podcast is about. It's about clapping for yourself and ways to appreciate yourself more. Also, too, if you not have done so, make sure you guys go check out our sponsor, All Things Shree. Yes, you guessed it. That is my website. So www.allthingsshree.com and use promo code 10% off to get 10% off your entire order. If you are listening to this on a Apple podcast, so whether you're listening to this on your iPhone, your MacBook, your iPad, whatever, make sure you go ahead and leave a rating. And if you don't want to leave a rating, you can always leave a review, or you can do both. So make sure you go ahead and leave a rating and review, and that will be greatly, greatly appreciated. And then also, too, if you are listening to this like on another type of device or whatever it may be, feel free, I would say like another app or another podcast platform, feel free to leave like a comment or rating on there as well. I don't get to see everything as of yet. A lot of things that I see has to do with like Apple and just some other analytics, but I just want to, like I said, just thank you guys for everybody that has already left a rating review. So if you have tuned into this podcast episode and you haven't done, left a rating review yet, like, what are you waiting for? Like, make sure you're doing this. If you hear my voice right now, make sure by the end of this year that you go ahead and leave at least a rating. Like I said, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, that will be helpful. And then also too, you can also share this podcast. You can tag the Instagram page, the I'm Good Podcast. Go ahead and tag the podcast page, but go ahead and share this podcast episode on your Twitter. Like I said, TikTok. I know it's kind of awkward, sharing on TikTok in regards to like basically, I don't even know. Depending on how you listen to this, I don't know if it's shareable on TikTok. But yes, y'all, share it on Instagram, whatever it may be. I'm just, like I said, I'm just so happy for everyone who has shared this podcast this year. I'm so ready for 2022. 2021 has been great. And listen, I have a lot planned for this podcast. I'm really, really excited. I have a lot planned. I know I keep saying that, but I do. I have some stuff up my sleeve, y'all. I have some nice things up my sleeve. So I'm really excited for all that's to come. And I'm ready to finish 2021 strong. Also, too, if you have not checked out the midweek roll call, make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. If you're not sure what that is, I'm not going to spoil it. You can go ahead and check it out after this podcast episode. The episodes are literally like 1 minute or less. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out that midweek roll call. And thank you to everyone who has listened to those. Like I said, that's something I implemented about a year ago. And it was something that was helpful for me in regards to, implementing the midweek roll call segment. I was like, this is something that I feel like is beneficial for me. And it's so funny now when I listen to other podcast episodes, like on self-development and things like that, they do the same thing, like in regards to like a segment, but they do theirs a little different. Like they may put it like on a Patreon or another type of platform. So I was like, oh my God. So I'm like, okay, I'm on the right track, whatever. So make sure you guys, if you have not checked that out, go ahead and check out the midweek roll call. Yes, y'all. So as you can see by today's title, as I stated in the beginning, today I want to talk about Today, I basically want to talk about, appreciating yourself more. Like, basically, it's okay to clap for yourself, sis. It's okay to clap for yourself, bruh. Like, it's okay to clap for yourself. And I want you to clap for yourself. I feel like a lot of times we have people pulling us here, there, and there, that a lot of times we often neglect ourselves or we forget about ourselves and we forget all of the things that we accomplish. So I want to tell you, listen, it's okay to clap for yourselves, for yourself, not selves. Selves. It's okay to clap for yourself. And I just want to basically just kind of give you some tidbits on some ways that you can appreciate yourself more. Okay. Don't let people think it's wrong for you to congratulate yourself. And I'm not talking about being cocky. Cocky is arrogant. No, I'm talking about being confident and appreciating yourself. Like, I know for me, oftentimes I really do be downplaying like what I do and just overall, like somebody might be like, oh, you have a podcast or whatever. I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, no, sis, you need to be like, yes, I have a podcast. Because I talk about self-development and confidence all the time, but sometimes I catch myself, trying to like dumb down or downplay myself, not to say to make the person look bigger, but I feel like sometimes we don't clap for our own self. And a lot of times we look on social media and we see other people doing stuff and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm not there. And we don't clap for our own accomplishments of what we have done thus far. So I just want to give you some tidbits on some ways that you can appreciate yourself more. The first one is write out everything that you're proud of. Literally, write out every single thing that you're proud of. It could be anything. I can't even really tell you exactly everything that you're proud of. But like how I said in the beginning, I am proud that I was very consistent with recording a podcast episode each week. I am very proud of that. So in 2021, I am very proud that I literally recorded a podcast episode each week, did not miss. Okay? So basically write out things that you are proud of. Like, don't ask anybody else. Write out things, that you can think for yourself that you are proud of. And then once you write out those things that you're proud of, then I want you to then write out things that you have accomplished. It could be things that you accomplished this year. It could be something that you accomplished this month. it could be something that you accomplished today. Write out something. I would say at least write out 5 things that you have accomplished this year. Write it out. We can even take it back to school. You can say, okay, like especially for my new college graduates, I just graduated from college. Whatever it may be, write out all of the things that you accomplished. I got my bachelor's, I got my master's, I got my doctorate, I got a job promotion, I got a new job, I got hired, whatever it may be. I was about to say fired. I don't know if that's an accomplishment, but hey, depending on what it is, some people might get fired and then turn that bad time into something good and build a 6-figure company. So whatever way you want to look at it. So then, like I said, the first thing you want to do is write out something you're proud of. And then after that, you want to write out everything you've accomplished. Like I said, if you want to make it easier for yourself, you can write out everything that you accomplished this week or this year or this month. You want to write out things that you've accomplished, not what someone else accomplished, not what people on Instagram or TikTok accomplished. Write out what you have accomplished. The next one I want to say is write out everything that you are grateful for. So I talk about this a lot. I talk about like a gratitude journal and different things like that. So writing out things that you're proud of and accomplished is a little bit different from the gratitude. For this one, you basically will write out things that you're grateful for. So oftentimes I find that things that I notate that I'm grateful for are things that I take for granted. And like a lot of times I feel like we don't realize we take stuff for granted until something bad happens or until we sick, until we ill, whatever it may be, or somebody's in crisis. A lot of times we realize like, oh shoot, I took this for granted, or I took doing this for granted, or I took going here for granted, or I took this person for granted. So I want you to write out everything that you're grateful for. You're grateful for your family. You're grateful for whatever it could be. And it doesn't have to be like I know this is all about, clapping for yourself, but write out everything that you're grateful for. So it could be, you think you're grateful for your kids, whatever it may be. But this is an opportunity for you to dig deep down and say to yourself, what am I truly grateful for? And like I said, you can always do a list of like basically things that you're grateful for over this past week, since today is Friday, or you can say like over the course of the year, I am grateful for this, this, and this. And then the next one I want to say is, well, it kind of ties in. I don't know. I actually put this down. Now I'm looking at what I notated. I put down this twice, but I put write out everything you accomplished this year. So that goes back to, like I said, writing out things that you accomplished, not only this year, but previous years. Like for me, I can say, well, back in 2020, I got my degree in nutrition, my master's in nutrition, whatever. So I could say, even though that was last year, I accomplished and I received my master's in science degree in applied nutrition. So even though that wasn't this year, I still accomplished. I could say I graduated and got my bachelor's from health and wellness. It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be like degree related or education related. It could be a job. It could be anything. But the beautiful thing about doing what I'm like doing this, like basically what I'm giving tidbits on, you're supposed to basically write out things that you accomplished, not what someone else accomplished, not Billy, Sally, or anything else. These are things that you accomplished so that you can look at this and give yourself a pat on the back. Like I said, a lot of times we do go on social media, and even me, we look at other people and what they accomplished, and we sometimes feel like, well, geez, like I haven't made it this far because I haven't reached this person level. But sis, there is someone that's below you that wish they were at the point that you're at. So I try to tell myself that a lot. Like sometimes when I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't do this, or I didn't, get this done, or, blase. I'm like, there's someone who wish they would be in my position. So just think about that. There's always somebody who will wish to be in your position. And if you can't think about somebody that will wish to be in position, think about somebody that's ill. Think about somebody that can't do nothing for themselves. Think about those people. So when you start thinking about that, you really start saying to yourself, like, you know what, I am thankful for this. I'm thankful for breath in my body. I'm thankful that I was able to accomplish this. I'm thankful to have this person around. I'm thankful for, this friend. I'm thankful for this family member, whatever it may be. When you really start, really thinking about the things that you've done and that you're grateful for, you definitely have like a different outlook on your life. And then also too, then the last one I want to say, and like I said today, well, I didn't say it today, but today is actually a pretty short episode. Like I said, I really want, it basically came from a quote that I had basically seen and I had posted on my Instagram. And it says something about basically you need to congratulate yourself and validate yourself, something like that. So that's why I was like, I really want to bring this to the podcast episode about ways to appreciate yourself more. And then so the last one I have on my list is write out things that you would like to appreciate more in the following year. So if there's some things that you feel like you haven't really been appreciative of, or you feel like there's things that you really need to work on, write out things like basically things that you can do next year to love yourself more. You can write out things that you wish to accomplish. Just write out a list of, I would say, at least 5 things that you wish to accomplish in 2022. Like I said, it could be, honestly, another way you can do this is to like do a vision board or whatever it may be. But I would say vision board and a list, write out some things that you can do to make sure that you appreciate yourself more in 2022. Like I said, 2022 is going to be a year of abundance for you. It's going to be a year for growth. It's going to be a year of self-love and just, embracing who you are. I wish nothing but success for everybody. And, I'm just excited. Like, what I'm saying? I'm just excited for, my own growth and for all that's about to come. And like I said, if you're listening to this podcast, listen, abundance is coming your way. Like abundance, I guarantee, if you're listening to this podcast, I guarantee it, abundance is coming away because there's only a certain type of person that will listen to this podcast. Like I said, these episodes and this podcast is here to help develop you to become a better person, have a better mind, and just have a better overall outlook in life. So if you're listening to this podcast episode or just this podcast in general, I know there's something in you that you desire. And trust me, sis, or trust me, bruh, you definitely gonna get it, okay? Listen. So like I said, today's podcast episode, was a little short. Well, not so much short, but a little shorter than some of our previous episodes. But I definitely hope this information, is helpful in regards to you like going forward, into like next year and just also going forward into finishing 2021 strong. So today's quote of the week is, you are the CEO of your own life. Hire, fire, and promote accordingly. Once again, let me read that. You are the CEO of your own life. Hire, fire, and promote accordingly. All right. I'm good, fam. You already know what time it is. We are now at the end of this week's show, and I hope this information was helpful, insightful, and everything in between. And do not forget to go ahead and subscribe to the I'm Good podcast. Share this podcast, leave a review, and tell a friend. As always, to my beautiful people, thank you so much for tuning in and listening, and I will see all of you beautiful people next week. Bye-bye.